This next review is going to be a bit different because I'm reviewing a VHS movie. Yeah, we're really turning back the clock with this one. This is the 1989 movie, Things. So, go to the garage, blow off the dust on the VCR, poof up your hair 80s style, crank your Poison albums, adjust the picture with the tracking button. Yeah, I know all you newbies going, holy fuck, what the fuck's a tracking button? Because we're kicking it old school. Yes, there it is. You have not experienced anything, and I repeat anything, until you have experienced this movie. This opening scene right here reminds me of, remember when you were like 13 and you accidentally stumbled upon your dad's porn stash and you ended up picking the most low-down, dirtiest, buzzcut lesbian late 1970s porn? This is what this scene reminds you of. It just makes you feel dirty. And is it me or does that guy look like that geek in Family Guy who has a crush on Meg?
You have my baby. My wife and I tried to have a baby. I've already had a baby.
There's a line no guy wants to hear. Will you have my baby? I've already had your baby. What? Where have I been for the last 9 months? Oh, you gotta love this part. You gotta live for. Watch the acting with his sick wife. It's just fucking brilliant.
I'm practicing these to help you use the pain.
Thanks. I hope they work. I feel like I'm gonna die.
Oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna die. I'm feeling better already.
Man, where can I get some of them? That is Amber Lynn, the porn star, making her movie debut. And no, she doesn't take her clothes off, and I think this is the only movie she's ever starred in where she doesn't take her clothes off. And as you can see, her acting is just fucking brilliant. Reading off the cue cards, and you know what? This proves something. She can actually read. Wow, but one thing is certain, her acting does suck. So basically the plot of this movie, from what I gather, is a couple guys go to one of their brother's house to drink some beers. One of their wife's really sick, and these creatures appear from another dimension, have access to our dimension through the mouse hole from a house. Yes, I'm not making that up. So here's our main cast. And is it me or is that one guy there, Doug, Dan, Dave, I think his name's Dan or something, look like Eddie Guerrero. And I'm talking old school mullet Eddie Guerrero. And I must say, that is a cool mullet. It's not better than CJ's from Sleepaway Camp 2, but nothing says 80s like a cool mullet, and that's a mullet. And typical bad horror movie fashion. Somebody's not home, who cares? Let's just break into his house and steal all this fucking beer. Okay, so apparently he keeps his VHS collection and his tape recorder in the freezer, and they start to play it and it has these chants on it and all that. Evil Dead ripoff. Excuse me. So if it's not quite apparent already, the acting in this movie is just plain sad. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, it's beyond B-movie, it's beyond high school drama class, it's even beyond trauma bad. Like, we're getting into grade 4 Teddy Bear's Picnic bad now. So every once in a while, we're forced to watch these newscasts by Amber Lynn proving again that she can actually fucking read. And you can even see her eyes move, reading the actual cue cards. That's just, I mean, wow. Now, truthfully, in this scene, I think that's the doctor, who, as the plot goes, wife is sick, they couldn't get pregnant on their own, so they got a doctor to artificially inseminate her, and I think this is the doctor. I think, don't quote me on it, because really, first time through, I had no clue what was going on. Holy fuck, it's Jeff Foxworthy! What the hell is he doing in this movie? You might be redneck. The makeup is almost falling off him. You might be redneck. If you cut somebody's tongue out and like it. Like, at this point, I think this whole scene is just for, like, let's get as much gore in this movie as we possibly can, because this scene makes no sense at all. I don't know if these guys are part of the other dimension. dimension, like those monsters. I don't know if it's the Doctor, which I think they are. Like, your guess is as good as mine. So in the next few clips, I'm just going to show some of these amazing special effects from this scene.
What is it for? What a bunch of trash.
Wow, I couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks, Eddie. Okay, so this guy just comes out of his room like now. Okay, his friends show up, they've been there for like a half an hour, and he just shows up like now. Like, I thought there was only two main characters in this movie, and all of a sudden this guy comes out of nowhere. And yes, that's the same dude from the beginning who had that fetish scene going on there right at the beginning of the movie. Okay, so they're watching TV, and then the dude's wife starts to whimper, which is one of the worst whimpers I've ever heard. So he goes into the room and this monster appears. Like, it just bursts out of her chest or something, like some rip-off of Aliens. Like, these things have got to be the slowest monsters in the history of everything. I mean, you'll see what I mean. So apparently the monster kills the dog, but how the monster caught up with the dog is somehow a mystery.
George Romero, director of such hits as...
See, I told you, right on cue. Back to Johnny. Where the hell's Johnny doing the newscast from his parents' basement? Like, look at that. And it's not like these newscasts add to the story or anything. They're just, like, there. Okay, so let me get this straight. The wife's dead. You've seen the monsters kill her. Fred's sucked in Dimension X. And you grab a bottle of Jack Daniels, sit down and drink in a plastic cup. Just making things clear. Okay, so after they get sloshed, they decide it'd be a good idea to go around and look for the monsters. And you will see just take a look.
Did you hear that?
Oh my god! It's a monster that's barely moving! Okay, so Beavis and Butthead go in the basement and this music starts to play where it sounds like it was recorded on a $15 Casio keyboard from Zellers. And yes, I say Zellers because this movie is Canadian, which I'm not sure if I should be bragging about. So they're trying to find a fuse box to turn the power back on, and Meg's boyfriend gets attacked by a monster, and like a dumbass, Eddie Guerrero nails him inside the fucking head with a hammer. And I could say a joke about drinking and getting hammered right now, but they beat me to it 5 minutes from now. So Eddie Guerrero turns the power back on, and he says, "The monsters are sleeping." Yeah, I think the entire production staff was sleeping or smoking glue in the parking lot or something. So he drags Meg's boyfriend, who is still alive after getting hit in the head with a hammer, and they take him upstairs. So, I don't know how he fucking loses his head in this scene. I don't know if the monster comes because you hear a little weird fucking noise, or Eddie Guerrero cuts it off, or he cuts it off, or I don't fucking know. The director should have cut it off. So Eddie Guerrero stops the bleeding by burning his friggin' stump and says he learned it in camp. It's like, what kind of fucking camp was he going to? Holy Christ. And right here is one of the worst acted deaths I have ever seen. I mean, like, yeah, Meg's boyfriend finally dies. Probably after dumbass Guerrero sets his stump on fire. So Eddie Guerrero grabs a plug-in drill and starts going nuts all over the place and killing all the monsters, which is what he should have fucking did in the first place. And, like, these monsters, like, they don't even move. They're like, oh yeah, okay, I'm getting killed by a drill. Again, like he's back from his vacation from Dimension X and starts doing a really bad Leatherface impersonation. Like, that's it. There's a little bit more, but I couldn't record it since it's a VHS copy. It's quite old, and the last little bit at the end is so mangled, like, it's not even worth it. You really got to experience this movie, how bad it is. Like, Ed Wood has nothing on this movie. Okay? they say Plan 9 from Outer Space is the worst movie of all time. They have not seen things. Okay. And apparently, like, the DVD's coming out in September, and they're going to be, the people who did the movie is going to be at Toronto's Festival of Theatre, because like I said, it is Canadian. So, okay, here's a surefire way to have a good weekend. First off, go to the store, grab whatever munchies you want. Secondly, buy about an ounce of pot. Invite 10 of your horror movie friends over, get baked off your ass, and watch the worst movie of all time. Because I guarantee you, you will laugh your ass off at how bad it is.